Hi team, welcome to my YouTube channel. Okay, so today we are going to look at a very interesting topic. It's just a short essay, not really an essay. I'll just say it's just a diagram of which this one. I hope we've seen it before. Yeah, so these are meninges showing the flow of CSF. So we are going to discuss a little bit on the production of CSF, how it flows, and where it is drained from. Okay, so before we go any further, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Not only that, but you can also hit that notification button so that whenever I upload the next video, you'll be notified. Yeah, so in looking deep into this diagram, every student must know how to draw this. I don't have a proper one so that I can just share with you in the video and then you'll be able to go through, but I hope you've seen this. Just Google meninges showing the flow of CSF. They're going to bring you something like this. So you must draw it, because in medicine or in peds, whenever they bring meningitis, there's a high chance that they're also going to ask you to draw this diagram, not only drawing it but also explaining how cerebral spinal fluid flows. Okay, so now to begin with, we need to first start with the production of CSF, and then from there we are going to move to how it flows down and then where it is drained from. Okay, so CSF, you also need to know the functions. Don't forget, you also need to know the functions, because we can't just be talking about CSF meanwhile you don't know its functions. Okay, so the way CSF flows, or how it is produced, we find that we've got structures within the brain. We've got the ventricles, we've got we also have these meninges here. We've got the brain, the spinal cord, and everything. So we're just going to start from how it is produced, how it flows, and then where it is drained from. So CSF is produced in the ventricles. It is produced in the ventricles. So we've got two lateral ventricles. We also have third ventricle, and we also have fourth ventricle. So we find that in these ventricles, especially the lateral and the third ventricles, on the roof of it, we've got what we call the choroid plexus. So the choroid plexus are the ones that are in charge of producing CSF. So once it is produced, definitely it is going to drop into the lateral ventricles. So we've got the right and left ventricle, and then once it drops into the lateral ventricles, it is going to go into the third ventricle, and then from the third ventricle, it is going to pass through the cerebral aqueduct into the fourth ventricle. So if you don't know how to draw this, it will be hard for you to understand. So once you know how to draw this, you just be explaining what you have drawn and also indicating some arrows how it flows. So when it reaches the fourth ventricle, it is going to escape via the foramina in the roof of the fourth ventricle. We also call it the foramen of Monro. So it is going to escape and join the subarachnoid space. So remember the meninges that we have. We've got the dura mater, we've got the arachnoid mater, we also have the pia mater. So the CSF is going to move from the fourth ventricle into the subarachnoid space. So in between the second and third meninge, that is where it is going to do what? That is where it is going to move in. Not only that, so we find that I don't know if it is clear here. I don't know if it is clear. I don't know if it is visible. So the way it moves like this, so we find that it is going to move from this fourth ventricle, and then it is going to join and then move upwards. And then we also have this one from here, from the fourth ventricle, it is also going to move downwards. So this one will be going to the spinal cord. So you'll be like, why is it moving in this direction? What is its main purpose? So we've got a few functions of CSF, of which the first one that we have, we've got it actually nourishes the brain. As it is moving around the brain, it is nourishing it. And then we also have another function which says it actually acts as a shock absorber. And then the other function that we have, yeah, so another function that we have is that CSF also aids in waste removal. So if there is any waste in the brain, it is the function of CSF to remove it. Not only the brain, remember, it also goes down to the spinal cord. So the same functions that it is doing to the brain or in the brain, it is the same function that it is doing within the spinal cord. And we also have the other one, which is pressure regulation. So here it helps maintain stable intracranial pressure. So it also aids in that way. So we ended from whereby it has now joined the subarachnoid space. So in the subarachnoid space, it is going to move upwards on top of the brain, and then it is going to be drained. There are some sinuses that we find when you look at this diagram. Let me just show you. I don't know, even though it's not that visible, but at least you'll be able to learn something. So we've got the sinuses here on top. We've got the sinuses here on top, here, like here on top. So this is where CSF is drained from after it is being used up. So it is going to flow from the fourth ventricle, joins the subarachnoid space, and then it is going to be drained up there in the sinuses. Specifically there we've got a vein that collects this used up CSF. And then the same thing happens. The other one moves downwards via the subarachnoid space. It is going to the spinal cord. So that is why, like here, if we can see here, it is moving downwards, going to the spinal cord. So we find that when somebody has got meningitis, or maybe they want to confirm a diagnosis of meningitis, they are going to do lumbar puncture. So lumbar puncture will be done on the spinal cord. They are going to insert a large needle, which is going to be drawing this CSF. So that clear fluid that they get, that is what we call CSF. And then they are going to do some lab investigations, and then they'll be able to come up with the diagnosis of meningitis, if at all that patient really has meningitis. So we've got viral meningitis, fungal meningitis, bacterial meningitis. Either way, they are going to come up with a diagnosis. So if there is nothing, CSF analysis is going to show that there is nothing. So when drawing this diagram, you just need to explain how it flows. That is why I said it is important for you to know how to draw it. Because if you don't know how to draw it, I mean, how are you even going to be explaining about the lateral ventricles, the third ventricle? You talk of the cerebral aqueduct, fourth ventricle, a subarachnoid space where it is drained from there on top, and then you talk of where it moves down to the spinal cord, and then it is collected there by a specific vein which collects the used up CSF. So it is very important, students, to know how to draw this, because this carries about I would say if not 20 marks, then it is 15 marks. So every mark counts in an exam. So if you say, no, I hate drawings, just rehearse. Like the way I used to draw it when I was a student, I used to make more like you're writing 3. You put a 3 here, you write another 3 this side, and then you connect things on the middle. You connect the ventricles on the middle. So it is as simple as that. So when you're explaining the flow, please just talk of the choroid plexus. Don't forget to mention that, because those are the ones that are in charge of producing CSF, how it moves through the lateral ventricles, down to the third ventricle, down to the fourth ventricle through the cerebral aqueduct, and then it jumps via on the roof of the fourth ventricles. It is going to escape through the foramen of Monro and joins the subarachnoid space, and then to begin to nourish the brain. So, and then not only that, it is also going to move downwards where it is going to join the spinal cord. Yeah, so that is what I had for you today. Thank you so much for listening. If you've got any question, don't forget to ask in the comment section. I'll be able to attend to it at my free time. So share this video. You can also download it. You can also share with your friends. Don't forget to like, because it is going to help us so that more viewers can come to this video and learn something. Thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe.